Showtime.
Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 15, special Monday edition, and the Lords are in the building. We got actually a very special guest, my man of the Weapon Wheel podcast, killing that crushing difficulty right now on Uncharted for the naysayers. My man Lord Smoove's in the building. How we doing, Lord Smoove?
What's up, everybody? I am doing swell. Feeling good, trying to win this rack right now. But thank you guys for having me. I think this is my second appearance on the Iron Lords podcast.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Nice. Lord Smoove's in the building, always family. And of course, we got the usual suspects at the round table, Monday edition. My brother from another mother, the non-aggro gamer, switch ganging it lately. My man, Lord Attic. What's going on with you, Lord Attic?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling in Lord Smooth's comment section, making sure that people don't come at him too hard in his stream. I'm telling you, man, I must have timed out 15 people.
Moderated duties was real. The moderated duties was real. No doubt, no doubt. And of course, we have the tech gamer, the man that's more Illuminati and more cognito than cognito himself. Lord Sovereign in the building. What's going on, Lord Sovereign?
What's going on? Doing good. Little under the weather last week, but definitely feeling much better this week. Looking forward to NBA Playgrounds tomorrow. Get a little retro NBA Jam going on my Switch. So,
Woo.
Yeah, man.
Hype for that. For the $20 too. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Yeah, $20.
And of course, we got my man, the premium experience, the excess gamer. Love it. What is going on, Lord King? How are we doing today?
I hope we're doing fantastic. Yesterday I downloaded Puyo Pop for the Switch, and Puyo the Tetris is a fabulous blend of both games, and then you can do so much stuff and have so many options inside of it. It is probably one of the best party games that I got in my house right now.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it. I got to get my hands on. Actually, I think they have a free demo out right now too of that. That's one of the demo games, so I got to get my hands on that too. But yes, Lord Cognito in the building, fresh off the operating table for y'all, showing that dedication. Had a little scare yesterday, but your Lord is back, and we ready to get this thing rocking. Real quick, as far as what I've been playing, Mario Kart has been lit. I mean, one thing I have to say, the Switch is amazing in an emergency room. Oh man, the Switch saved me. It made that time fly. So I just got that, and you'll be proud of me, Lord Sovereign. I actually started my first Divine Beast. I actually started a quest line for the first time. I had a lot of time on my hands sitting in the operating room. So yeah, man, I actually started that joint, and I think it's Zora, the water one, the water elephant thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I did that one. So I'm very happy getting that going. But yeah, man, what the rest of the Lords and everybody been playing? Start with Lord Smooth. What you been playing, Lord Smooth? Besides Uncharted, I know you've been rocking that.
That's all he's really been playing.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, for the last 10 days. Before I had started that, I was playing. I'm playing Mario Kart 8 now with you guys.
Nice.
There's another game I started, dude. BioShock Infinite. I was playing that. And I'm gonna try to jump into Darksider since I've never played any of them. They just released that remaster. So
it's a good look for you. That's a good look for you right there.
Nice. Now, Lord Attic, my man, what's been going on? I know we got an Xbox down, but what else has been going on for you, gaming-wise?
I was playing Darksiders 1 till my Xbox went down, but I'm playing the Switch right now.
No doubt. That boy is a beast on that Mario Kart. I don't like him in them races. He's doing too strong wearing them crowns.
Yeah, he needs to go toe to toe with Lord Kaibatsu because Kaibatsu.
Yeah, we can't wait. Each week we got to do the land part, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of ish
We
talking.
gotta get that going.
Yeah. It's sweet.
I'm a beast.
You are. Definitely.
We can link this one-on-one up after this. Remember what I had to teach you.
What's up, man? What you been playing?
I actually started to get back into Horizon Zero Dawn a little bit, after the Zelda craziness, which I haven't done much of anything in Zelda. I'm leaving that sort of for the E3 trip, but Horizon Zero Dawn and Mario Kart definitely.
No doubt.
That's pretty much been it. Switch game.
Switch game. And Lord King, what's been on the rotation?
Well, I was trying to jump in Assassin's Creed after I saw the garbage movie that popped out on my my Xbox. So let me get that, and then I had to wash the taste out of my mouth with actually a good game, because it's a horrible movie. But Switch stuff. Everything's Switch right now. I'm about everything Switch. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. The price is right. The games are smooth, 60 frames per second, 1080p. These games is really on point. It's like well-designed games, and I'm loving it.
No doubt. Cool, man. So everybody's been rocking, having some fun. So we're gonna get right into the show right now, and I'm actually gonna start off with my bro Lord Addict here because we had a lot of rumors in these streets about PlayStation 5 and when this thing could drop, and what you got to tell to the round table about these rumors, Lord Addict.
All right. Typically we do podcasts on Sundays, but we got delayed, so we're a little bit. What's where I'm looking for? We're late.
Behind.
we're late on this, but
catching up.
The person who predicted the Slim and the Pro has another prediction out. I don't know what the name of this individual is. It's some kind of analyst. I don't know. I didn't really look into it because the moment I heard the topic and the title, I just shut the whole thing down. I was like, this is not happening. But he predicts that the PS5 is going to come out in 2018. And part of the issue that I'm having with this is people are like, oh, he's credible. He's predicted something. So you mean to tell me he predicted that 3 years later they were going to make a Slim? Yeah, because it's not like that's never happened before. How long was the Neo rumored before it actually was fully announced as a Pro? It wouldn't have took too many people to realize when that was coming out.
I hear you. What are the Lord's thing? Let's get this free discussion as far as who wants to jump in about. I believe the analyst's name. What's his name? Mike Sachi or whatever. And I'm not actually. Excuse me, Daniel Mod. Also, there's a couple other guys made some comments in reference to him. So, do you guys think this is legit? What are the Lord's feeling on possible PS5 in 2018?
I'll take that.
Yeah, not happening.
No, it's happening. It's happening for the simple fact. The reason why it's happening, and you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, damn, it happened," is because the Scorpio is gonna be so powerful, and they took away their power play. We are the most powerful system. They're gonna be trying to run that we have the game stuff until the fact that Microsoft, all the third-party games run better on Scorpio. All right, so then they're going to start scrambling because they're going to start looking to grab up that market share because Switch is going to be eating into their market share. So this is where the screw-up happens. Instead of holding fast and staying the course, they're going to 3X it and 32X to jump off, and they're going to throw that out there. And anybody that purchased the Pro is probably going to open their windows and throw it out the window. If that happens, because I'm really pissed off right now with the Pro. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. I could have stayed pat with my regular PlayStation. There's nothing going on with this Pro that indicates that I needed it at all. All right, so they lied. They said it was going to do this, and it does absolutely nothing. And I'm pretty sure anybody got a Pro, you could just jump in and tell me if your Pro does something different than that regular PlayStation. Let me know, because I see them dropping patches, and those patches work for the regular PlayStation too.
So look, you say you get no improvement. You're not getting any improvement on your Pro versus
no, man. But that PlayStation 5 is coming.
He's not getting improvement that was worth the upgrade, and I get that.
Hell no.
I completely understand that. For me, it would bother me to know that Horizon Zero Dawn looks a little bit better on the Pro, and I don't have it in my house. I know it would bother me. So I mean, again, I'm not happy with what they've done so far, but at the same time, when I do play something, I'm confident in knowing that it's the best version, whatever that means, because they're not really applying what power the system has. They're not really applying it to every single game coming down the pipeline. It's very hit or miss, and that's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, they need to do something about that. So I totally agree with Lord King in that regard.
That Lord Smooth, looks like you differ. So I wanted to get your perspective. What do you think about this PS5 thing?
Yeah, I think it's bogus, and they keep referring to this damn guy for predicting. He didn't predict freaking the Neo or the Slim. He was just the first major person with a name to start talking about the rumors, just like all of us little YouTubers were when the rumors and shit started to come out. I had the damn white papers for Neo for the longest, and I was just dropping hints on Twitter because I didn't want to get my shit taken down like they took down my PlayStation Slim video just for having the image. So that's so people, and the thing is, his prediction isn't new. They're just bringing up his article, and that's like, which is old. His prediction is old, and they're just doing this because of the Scorpio. There's no PlayStation 5 coming in 2018. You know what I mean? I don't know when the PlayStation 5 is coming. It would be stupid for them to drop PlayStation 5 because they haven't even supported the PlayStation 4 Pro yet. And when I say they haven't supported the PlayStation 4 Pro, we're looking at the Pro, and there's probably only a handful of games that actually sees in like a legit improvement. Like, oh, that's the Pro version, you know? Right. And that's where it's like, yo, this is like this right here. This Pro right here is a ripoff. They haven't done anything, so there's nothing on the PlayStation 4 that's really taking full advantage of what the Pro is supposed to do, and the PlayStation 4 itself has been selling like hotcakes. They're a market leader. They got all their games out, and they got a whole ton of games that they announced that are due to release in 2018 and 2019. Where are these going to be PlayStation 5 games now? Like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. And if it does, I don't know if that bodes well for them. I don't think they're not going to have the same turnout as the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know who it would hurt more. Does it hurt Microsoft or would it hurt Sony? I say it shouldn't hurt Sony in the fact that they made more than what they were expected to make with the PlayStation 4. So I guess but what are they really doing? How would this affect devs? Is this going to be, because a PlayStation, they're not really popular on backwards compatible. I feel like if they drop a PlayStation 5, that shit needs to be 110% backwards compatible.
I think it may not be 2018, but they're definitely mentioning something this year. Whether it be E3 or whether it's at PSX, they're saying something. They're not gonna let Microsoft run away with that narrative. They're not gonna let Nintendo run away with that narrative either. They're not about that.
So Lord Saul, let me ask you this: so you're convinced that to steal the thunder,
absolutely,
like they need to just announce it, which almost similar to like what Scorpio was announced last E3 from Microsoft.
Absolutely.
Now you're convinced that they would do that, even though they're the market leader, even though they're in a dominant position.
This has been their MO, all along. I mean, when they have, again, they did it in the past few E3s when they're announcing games that are 4 or 5 years out, but they win that mind share at E3, and everybody's like, oh, winning E3 doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does, because the entire gaming world is watching E3.
Yep.
That dictates the tone for the rest of the year. What people are excited about, what they're not excited about.
I think after they see the reveal of Scorpio, they're gonna scrap their stuff.
PlayStation conference delayed 2 hours.
So they have a whole day now.
Yes,
it's not like before it's a couple hours.
It's delayed till Tuesday. First.
They're gonna drop at 3 o'clock in the morning.
The problem with the idea of a PlayStation 5 right now, right, is that, well, we still don't have all the information on Scorpio, right? And if Scorpio is going to do what I think it's going to do, the PlayStation 5 would have to more than eclipse it. And I don't think they're in a position ready to make an affordable console that would be able to outdo it. So
they're not dropping a console at $500. They won't do that.
It can't, because it would have to outdo Scorpio. If even if it's like on par with Scorpio, that's a problem, because Scorpio technically is just a mid-grade Xbox One.
Yeah,
right.
So it has to damn near be an 8K console, 4K minimum, 8K up.
8K on the go.
By dropping next year, they could feasibly, they can take over the narrative by saying, "Oh, we have Ryzen in our system, and it's going to be more cost effective for them a year and a half from now than it would be right now."
But ask yourself this: what would Ryzen and the PlayStation 5 really do, though? What would it bode?
I mean, it would have to be a lot.
For the first couple years, they're gonna downplay everything to the PS4 anyway. So
8K checkerboard, like this 4K checkerboard crap we got here.
I mean, it's interesting. I think, listening to it, obviously, this guy, it's funny, his name, sorry, it's Damien Thong.
Yes,
is the analyst. He's our guy, and he's the one that's pretty much saying that, as far as so-called predictions, has been accurate. On one hand, I see what the Lords are saying. Saab, I see what you're saying. On some hand, as far as taking the thunder back from E3, obviously Microsoft has a lot of the power narrative coming in, a lot of momentum with having that Scorpio drop. So I can understand what you're saying as far as like stealing the thunder, but realistically, I just can't see it from a development standpoint. Because, I mean, how long these systems take to develop? I mean, what was Phil talking about, like at least 2 years? And, when they were talking about Scorpio, and then they waited an additional year because, they didn't feel resources-wise, tech-wise, they were ready to do the full 4K jump. So in this case, you got Sony that just recently dropped the Neo, right? The PS4 Pro. And they have touted this to their base as the next generation system. I mean, their mid-generation refresh, so to speak.
But they haven't really they haven't done what Microsoft's done with it. They've been very low key. It's almost like they don't care if they sell that one.
But they did mention it as like the premium console. This is the hardcore experience. This is like the next level.
This is the one they want to compete with PC.
Right. So how do you tell your, I mean, not saying that it's impossible for them to do it, because if they do it, I agree with Lord King, it's a major colossal mistake in my opinion, because you're the market leader. For you to even think about coming out with a console right now, to me, you just anger your base. You now have made.
They try to go from 60 million to 0.
Yeah, like then. But another point that Lord Smooth is making that I totally agree with. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have confidence in Sony's backward compatibility. They have still yet to shown that they can even do that with PS3 titles, right? They're still offering the streaming service and all the other stuff. So more than likely, if it was true that it was to drop, it's not going to be backward compatible. At least I would think, because they haven't proven that they can do that. So if that's the case, and even if it is powerful, now you've cut off the base and say you have to get PS5 only titles, so to speak. To me, that's a major misstep. And one would think, Sony, I can't see them making this mistake.
My thinking is that they don't want to lose that narrative the system came out October 2016.
I understand.
They don't want to lose that narrative for 3 years. Like 3 years.
I understand the narrative, but also you got to look at this too. Historically, with the system generations, the most powerful system historically has not always won the generation.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So the way I look at it is, we know the Scorpio titles are going to be better, right? We know they're going to come out, Digital Foundry, because Digital Foundry, everyone, the rumors now that they're in bed with Microsoft. So those Digital Foundry comparisons are going to happen. They're going to have the Pro version, the PC, and the Scorpio version. They're going to go and, go all into the detail of how, which one is better. But at the end of the day, if they got more install base and they're selling more copies, and Scorpios is better, okay, yeah, but so what? and let's be honest, Sony still has a lot of the marketing deals, right? For exclusivity. So in the mind share's mind, again, Sony's still the place to go. So if they get caught up with an ego like this, to say we gotta take it back on a power narrative, I don't know. I think it's a colossal mistake.
I still really think it dictates what Microsoft does that Sunday. I really think what the press conference does on Sunday, and remember, Monday is our hands-on, let's get it popping. And I really think Sony is basing everything off of the reception of the Scorpio and what is viewed at that moment. And to strike fear in the hearts of men, it's just it takes something very small. And once they get a hold of it, they will switch their stuff up fast. They'll tell you they've done it before.
I'm with you on narrative. I'm just not with you guys as far as one development time to actually have a system ready by 2018 is next year.
I've seen dumb stuff done from developers. I mean, from console developers before. You've noticed we've seen dumb stuff from market leaders a lot, and then when they actually do it,
it's their turn to mess up. You know,
it's their turn to do it.
And that is the funny part. Is like, people are on Sony. They're with Sony, and they don't. When is the last time the victor from the previous gen did not royally mess up the next gen?
Generally, that's how it works. I mean, I hear what you're saying. It would be interesting if they fell into that trap. Me personally, I don't feel they need to. I don't feel it has to. But hey, I mean, they get Sony to move, to force their hand to do something.
Who's to say Microsoft is going to be the beneficiary of their colossal collapse? I honestly believe Nintendo is going to be the beneficiary of all the stupidity that happens next.
Which could transition into our next topic. But I want to get Lord Ack a little bit more on this, since it was his that he brought to the table. Where are you at? You convinced not a chance? And if so, when do you think, Lord Ack, that it could drop?
2019, 2020.
Yeah,
it gets announced in 19, comes out in 20.
Yeah, I think 2020 isn't 19 or 20 the 25th anniversary of PlayStation.
20 years.
Yeah.
Kid, did they not? Didn't they have an interview with Sony president? And didn't he even? Yeah, Yoshida.
He said if.
Yeah, he said if. He didn't even say. He didn't even act like they're even working on it at the moment. Like he didn't, I get that, that's a PR thing, but I feel like it would be okay to say that, we are in process of research and development. I can't go in too much on it, but we are in the process. And that was last year, Kid?
Yeah.
This would be interesting. I mean,
that's when they were talking about the Pro. Yeah, when they were talking about the Pro, they were asking pretty much how would that affect, a PlayStation 5 or something.
And I feel like maybe it would be possible 2018, 2019 to get the next generation of consoles. But these mid-generation consoles happen, and that's the guaranteed thing. I'm saying 2020, late earliest. Because what's the point in dropping these mid-gen consoles when you're just going to recycle in 2 years? Like, it makes no sense.
The gap would be
mid-gen consoles are at least good for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. Now let me ask Lord, since you guys are with me, Lord Smoove, Lord Addict. Let me ask you this question though. What, based on what Lord Sovereign King is saying, is one thing that it kind of strikes me. What if this Scorpio reveal is so crazy? It's so bonkers. The games are so light years ahead of what PS4 is doing.
You know what's going to happen?
That's what I think is happening.
Sony is.
I'm turning into Lord King and Lord Sovereign.
Let's say that it comes out that everyone's like, oh, it's so strong, it's so strong. You know what Sony's going to do at that time? They're going to double down on third parties because they got the higher install base. It doesn't matter.
What about that price drop? What about that as a counter?
They can do that, but
yeah, they might do that anyway.
I don't think the price drop would matter depending on how much.
I think they might bundle a game with the Pro, but I don't think they'll do a price drop. I think they're going to
do a price drop across the board.
They're going to do a price drop on the PS4, but I don't think they're going to do it on the Pro because the PS4 they do a price drop. It's older tech that's been remodeled, so they could still make money off of it. But I don't think they can make any money if the Pro is dropped.
The Pro is old tech that's remodeled.
Yeah, that's
the same system. When somebody went in there and put a jumper cable inside. That's all that thing is. Don't sit there and act like they put in some new processors and did something special. They did nothing but connected one wire from the back to the front. And said, let's get some more juice up in the front of the bus.
Disrespecting the great Lord Cerny.
He said jumper cable.
Yo, wait, did you talk about that snake oil salesman in this room again?
I had to say it to get a little kick started. I know how he feels about it.
Because I knew what he did when he marketed the Pro. I knew what he did. He said, yo, guys, if we take this wire from the back and we put up in the front, you can get a better checkerboard 4K. He said, what? He said, we can charge them an extra $150? He said, hell yeah. Snake oil at its finest, brothers.
Look, wasn't there certain games that was running better on the PS4 than the Pro?
Yes. To this day,
some issues.
They haven't patched that.
I think
Final Fantasy, The Last Guardian. It was a handful of games that was just that's embarrassing. That can't happen.
Yeah, that can't happen. That can't happen. And again, what I'm noticing, another reason why I lost out when we had this conversation is that why I've been waiting on holding off on it is because, you know, a lot of the games were not 4K HDR. They didn't have HDR enabled. And then it seems to be like a trade-off. If you want the frame rate, the res goes down. You know what I mean? Or if you want the res, you know, the frame rate. So when I saw those Digital Foundry Final Fantasy videos and a couple other ones, you know, it's kind of disappointing. So I'm like, eh. And then obviously with Scorpio, you know, Lumen and obviously Switch here now, it was just, you know, it just fell on the back burner for me personally. But I hear what you guys are saying. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens at E3. And
I think if you guys were to put a percentage on it coming out in 2018, what would your percentage be?
I'll jump first. I'm gonna say 30%. I still don't see them doing it. I really don't. I would be shocked. I don't see it do it.
I'm saying 20 because I feel like there is an 80% chance Sony's dumb. So
I'm going. The 30% is for the mistake, for them to press the button on something based on emotion.
See, like here's the thing.
Sunday.
I'm going 5%. And the 5% is them. That's just me thinking they'll at the end of their conference they're gonna give a little PlayStation 5 logo and it says 2019 and I'm like, all right, that they said something. That's all I'm giving.
Right.
Like here's the thing. Okay, there is a chance that they would do this because it's just like last year. It's just like Microsoft with this generation. When you out on top, you feel like your fans will follow you no matter what you do.
Sure, you get gassed. You can get gassed. Absolutely. Microsoft fell victim to that.
But I do feel like what happened in the PS3 era, I don't think Sony's going to try like random acts of stuff like that.
Exactly. One would think with PlayStation being their only successful business right now, as far as ventures, as far as the company as a whole, one would think they wouldn't jeopardize themselves.
I believe their hubris is ridiculously large, and I honestly believe once that hubris is challenged with the Scorpio, that they will have a heartfelt moment. They board of directors will look over and say, "Well, we can't lose our only cash cow. We must control this."
They're gonna name it. They ain't gonna bring out a PlayStation 5. They're gonna say, "And next year we're bringing out the PlayStation Plus Pro."
Oh my Lord.
Yo, you know what? They might bring out that little handheld Switch thing that they were talking about. That might be the 5.
After the tremendous success of the Vita. Here we go. That would be
but if it's a full-fledged console like the Switch and they can just copy, because you know they're the masters of copying what's hot. Right. And if they can grab a fake little Switch with more power, a larger screen, because you know what they feel, more power and a larger screen equals results, and they mimic what the Switch is doing, I can honestly see them trying their hand at that, if not a full-fledged PlayStation 5.
I could see them trying their hand on that on some level, only for the simple fact that, and I don't want to bleed too much into the next topic, is that, you know, the Switch is dominating PS4 in Japan. Like, that's a big deal.
That's a big thing.
And yeah, as far as like, you know, over there, mobile gaming is really huge. You know, in smaller apartments, I guess, in the culture is just a different, you know, mindset. So consoles generally is not doing how they used to, you know, moving how they used to move. So yeah, I mean, to see Switch doing what they're doing, it would be interesting to see the next move Sony does make when they do make it. And it'll be interesting, like you guys said, if the Lord say if they get influenced by the Scorpio hype train. We shall see. But if the Lords are good on that, we're gonna move. What's up?
I'm gonna say something real quick. Like,
and I didn't get Sovereign's percentage. I didn't get Sovereign's percentage.
I feel like the only way that they do really make this race with this PlayStation 5 is that they start dramatically every month losing sales. Like, if they lose that power perception, and then like for the 5 or 6 months straight, they lose the market, they lose US sales, and then they start losing UK sales. They have to see the money leaving before they reach back in.
I would agree on some level to that, yeah.
And that will lead into my whole topic from last week that the Scorpio is launching in August to precipitate that whole small drought and getting that money out of that pocket all the way to the end of the year.
Yeah, Scorpio has momentum. That I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that would affect change. But Lord Sovereign, I didn't get your percentage on chances of it happening.
40%. I was like 40%. 40%.
Okay. Cool. We will wait and see. So on that note, we're gonna move on to the next topic. And we're going to make it a little Switch gang situation. You got the Nintendo Switch out here moving a lot of units. So I want to bring this to the Lords right now. Basically, Nintendo had a recent quarterly earnings call, and the company was talking about how, obviously they sold the 2.7 in the first month. And what I thought was interesting, what I wanted to bring to the round table was that Nintendo actually made a prediction, and they said they expected to sell 10 million Switches in the fiscal year. So based on that data, that means if they're able to sell 10 million in the fiscal year, they can end March 2018. It would surpass the lifetime sales of the Wii U in 1 year. So I'm bringing this to the Lords. Based on the success of what we've seen, obviously we know Zelda was a success in the initial, first 2 months, whatever. Japan is doing well. We got Mario Kart 8 out in the streets doing tremendous right now. Tremendous. Do we think that Grandpa Nintendo is bugging out here? Do we think they could actually hit said number? The floor is yours. Anybody can grab it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They can hit that number.
Go and solve.
Nintendo's back, man. Like, to be honest, they took a gamble on creating this niche system, and it worked. And people have been gravitating to it. This is what people who've been shied away from portable gaming finally have their portable machine, a machine that has the power of a console in the palm of their hand. I know it sounds like a marketing ad, like a advertisement, but it's the truth. And it gives the core gamer the best of both worlds, and they've delivered on it so far. So for me, all they have to keep doing is continue delivering the cool indies on a weekly basis. Give me a big Nintendo release every month, a month and a half to 2 months. Give me some great surprises for the rest of the year at E3. Give me Virtual Console for multiple old Nintendo systems. Please. Give me Virtual Console for everything up to GameCube, or up to and including Wii, if you can possibly do it. And then just basically, and then at when it comes to the holiday, you have to treat the holiday like a second launch window. Like you need to move that Mario, you need to move Zelda again. And if you do that, and if you've created, and if your internet and your the service that you're touting is decent, and people don't feel they're being robbed, I think they're absolutely going to blow those numbers away. I think.
Here's a question for you guys. I know this. I don't. It's a new system, so I don't know if they would do this. But Mario's coming out in the holiday. Do you think they would bundle it with Zelda to push for a Mario sale too?
Oh, wow, that'd be tough.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Obviously,
I don't think they would do that.
I would have to rethink my grandpa Nintendo thinking if they would consider doing that. Like, really?
Okay. If I were to put this on a percentage, I'd say there's a good 7% chance that they just clear house on holiday. But if they bundle it with that Zelda, it's 100% chance. Like,
yeah, that's gonna move. I mean, the attach. If that was to happen, I mean, the numbers came out. Wasn't the attach rate of Zelda even more? I mean, Zelda outsold the actual consoles.
Yeah, it was more than 100%. The attach rate.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, like 102%. Like there was more Zeldas sold than actual console, and I guess from the demand and people just want the collector's edition or whatever it may be. So I mean, yeah, if they did that, whoa.
I can see there being a Zelda bundle, a Mario bundle, a Mario Kart bundle. I don't see them putting them together because they know Mario moves on its own.
no, I was just saying that they bundle it with Zelda, and then they expect that, you know, drop the bundle like, you know, the month that Mario comes out, you know, the Mario Odyssey, they drop that Zelda bundle. People are gonna pick up the Zelda bundle because it comes with Zelda, and they're gonna pick up Mario right next to it.
And you're talking about a Zelda bundle for flat three?
No, well, no, it would be Nintendo probably won't do flat 3. I feel like that would be the best scenario for a flat 3, but Nintendo won't do flat 3.
Yeah.
If it's a little over 3, I can really see it, because if you could still buy Zelda, and if you're gonna sell it to me for 360, it's the same as buying them separately. Like I don't really see the benefit in that. But if you give me a discount on it in the bundle, yeah, because absolutely, then you get that, and you're like, wait a minute.
You know how they really do it. They pull that shady stuff. They drop a special collector's edition of Zelda that's that's designed after Zelda. See how quick people will pick up another Switch to have a custom Zelda one.
and then all the DLC together is going to be one package, like the Master Edition or something like that. Yeah, I can see that.
It's possible. Lord Smooth, what do you think about Nintendo and these goals? These
Smooth just wants achievements. That's all he cares about.
We know Lord Smooth wants his achievements. What about 10 million possibly being sold and all these proclamations? What do you think about all this? Lord Smooth's quiet right now. he's in a lot of fun, so we can get over Lord Kid.
I believe that 10 million is possible. They probably do more than 10 million, to be honest with you. It just has to be how many they can produce. How many they can produce is how many they can sell. Simple as that. I got people that's asking me on Facebook, that's asking me on Instagram, that's asking me on Twitter, yo, have you come across it? Because I come across, you know, games, phones and stuff. And I said, no. Not one supplier, not one dude that I know say, yo, I have an extra Switch, I have a couple of Switches, not one. And they've told me that it's the hardest thing to get right now. Like, and when they get to the stores, when they get into anyone's hands, they're gone. So yeah, 10 million.
Not days, hours. I'm hearing.
Hours. It's sold, man. That's a foregone conclusion. But the thing is, what I want to know is how they're going to keep stagnating the release of big titles. Because like Lord Sovereign said, he wants these indies to drop every week. I'm not in the store buying indies, so that does not appeal to me at all. And then Virtual Console, that's for you. I'm not in the store looking for Virtual Console. Don't even hit me with that. Hit me with these games. So my next game that I'm looking forward to is it's a couple of RPGs this summer that looks really good on them, and it drops for them first. So okay, so I got the exclusive with you guys, and then I got the Mario that's coming up. How you gonna close out the year? And are we gonna get a reveal at E3 with Metroid? That's what anybody's talking about, like that reveal for Metroid. So
if Metroid gets revealed next year, they sold another 10 million.
Yeah, they're gonna sell
Metroid gets revealed. Whoa.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
I think KidSmoove's back.
I'm back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lord Smooth, we just want to get you on that 10 million proclamation that Nintendo's been making at that fiscal earnings call. Do you think they can hit that number? Is it realistic based on even with the early momentum? What's your feeling on that?
I think it's realistic if you think about it. We're only 10 years removed from the launch of the Wii, which did very well. The Switch it was a risky console, but I think they treated it well. I don't like how they did their the create demand thing. I think we had a long discussion about that. I think in Xbox Live. I think during the launch week. I think it's possible, and because they exceeded their expectations, and the games are, and I know they're just Wii U ports, but they're like when they drop them, I mean they're selling like crazy. You look at Zelda, you look at Mario Kart.
Mario Kart did like what 700,000 in a day.
Yeah, it's I think the 10 million is possible. I think now I don't think majority of that is going to come from like North America. I think the majority of that is going to be Japan and maybe Europe and whatnot. But I think they can do it. Like I said, my only thing I want Nintendo to feel like they need to bring the Switch to current times. So my thing is, I'm hoping
you want the Switch to not be grandpa no more. You want grandpa not to be grandpa?
I don't want like the Switch. And if they're successful, if they do that 10 million, that means the stuff that we want ain't going to happen.
Okay.
Maybe the stuff that you want will hurt what's going on now. That 1080p, 60 frames per second.
No,
maybe
the user interface. I do. On the Switch, this thing could be 700p if it wanted to. Because if like the thing is, I imagine the Switch, right? And sometimes I pretend like, dang, if this was an Xbox or a PlayStation, I won't let it go. What it does as a handheld, I like it. As a console, I like it. I don't like the lacking of it. It doesn't have anything the other platforms have as far as social interacting and leaderboards, achievements, and the online universe is not there, and it drives me insane.
And I think that need that you have right there hurts their user interface and bogs down the games right now, and they're trying to work out the kinks. I'm not really looking for these guys to do all those things from the jump, knowing all the problems that Xbox One had with their user interface at the beginning. The same thing with the PlayStation 4 in the beginning. They had missing apps. Certain stuff wasn't running in 1080p. It was a lot of problems with them force feeding that stuff into the user interface, and it had to go through constant revisions, constant updates, constant downtime for them to fix these kinks, because like Lord Attic said in the last podcast, the Xbox One user interface is not the same interface that we got when we got our system when it launched.
That's true.
Totally different.
But the thing is, here's the thing with that is that the stuff that I'm talking about has been a standard in gaming for about over 10 years now. and that's where it becomes a problem. It's like all right, I understand with the Wii. And I kind of didn't really get it with the Wii U, but I was like, the Switch, come on, it's going to have it. But the Switch barely has a UI.
Yeah.
But you're asking a marathon runner to become a sprinter overnight. He's learning, bro. Give him his legs.
But Lord King,
it's going to come.
Lord King, are you saying that you feel that Nintendo doesn't? I mean, okay, you're saying it's going to come, but are you saying you feel that it doesn't need it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
No, I believe it needs it, right? But I don't want it in the fact that it's broken. You understand? I don't want it to ship. Right. Take your time. Do your thing. You're winning right now with how you're doing it. Don't stumble. Don't trip over yourself, because everybody's looking at you and waiting for you to fall on your face. So if you release an app or Netflix accident, they're like, oh my God, Netflix only plays at 480p. Oh my God, could you believe it? It was even half of the screen. I will say that. Though.
I feel what you're saying, Lord King, but I will say this to Lord Smooth's point. Like, just now, like before the podcast, me, Lord Smooth, Lord Attic, we got a game of Mario Kart on, right? And we're having a ball. But we're doing this on Xbox One party chat. That's a problem. Like,
and I was like, you know what they...
Lord Attic.
I was like, you know what they should do? They should just bundle an Xbox. They should just bundle a 3-month Xbox Live card of every Switch. It was like, use our competition service.
Yo, Attic, hold on. I have to go at Log Cognito right now. Do you remember before the Switch launched? And I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, they have an app that you could play that you gotta play, and then you could talk to people through your cell phone. And you was like, "There's no way," because they have a headset, and the headset is there. And I'm purchasing. I said, "Don't pre-order that headset. It's a waste of cash because they're not launching with it." And you said, "No." Reggie Fils-Aimé said that they will have that.
Now here's the thing. Technically,
yes. Do they have chat though? Do they have chat? That's all I want to know.
It is a function of the system. They have the output. They have the technical specification to do it. They are choosing.
Are they doing it though?
They are
doing it though?
Grandpa and force some app. I'm assuming. So we'll see. We'll see that.
But they just not doing it. So they disable your turbocharger.
They just want you to pull out your phone.
I do want to say that.
All right. That's all I wanted to get across.
One of the biggest things. I do want to say that I feel like right now the necessities that Nintendo desperately needs before they start charging for this service is they need a party system, and I really think that some kind of achievement trophy system in the Switch would help its longevity.
If Grandpa could do that, Lord Smooth is on that Switch all day.
Yeah.
But it's free, so don't complain. It's free.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, like back to the point I was saying, it's like I do feel Lord Smooth on this point because it's like Mario Kart is so great, right? It's so much fun.
And it's quiet, right?
Yeah, and it's like, could you imagine if it had party chat and if it just had?
Yeah.
My thing
could
is,
you imagine your game slowing down and chopping up all right, and all that other stuff?
Now we know it's capable. Even the Vita proved that they can do it. The Vita had which is a less powerful system, had party chat, group chat, achievements, all of that. So all they gotta do to me is just give me first. Let's just start off with messaging. Can I send Lord King a message to be like, I'm going to be on?
And you know what's funny? When I first got the Switch, I'm sitting there playing Zelda. I'm like, I'm all hyped. I see Cognito's name pop down there. I was like, oh, cool. And for some reason, I expected, modern technology to click this little bubble icon and his profile pops up. I click it. Nothing. I'm like, okay, maybe it misclicked. I click it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm on a Switch.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just a stalker list. It's just, let's see what you did yesterday. Let's see what you did.
They're trying to do this with no missteps, guys. I'm sorry. I see what everybody wants, and I want the same things too. But I'm being so realistic with these guys. Like, ultimately realistic. I think we get that for Christmas. I think they say, hey, on Christmas Day, voice chat.
I do feel like King's got a point. I feel like that they know they're going to charge for this service, and I don't think they're going to come at us with like a really horrible service because they know people. I don't know. Grandpa Nintendo might legitimately think people would pay $25 for an app on your phone to talk on party and be like, and every time someone has any kind of speculation, any kind of criticism, they're like, copyright. Your window's mine. Your guy's mine. I don't care because I got the money. You don't.
I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see because it's like, again, I get it. We right now, I feel what Lord King's saying. Like, they are riding the wave. They're making hand over fist. It's moving. It's moving, man. Like,
don't mess it up. That's it.
I hear it, and it's got to be right. When they drop it, it's got to be right. It just, obviously what Lord Smooth was saying, and modern times, Grandpa, come on, like, you're almost there, like, just throw. Because to be honest, like Mario Kart, I don't know if you guys have played it online. The experience itself is pretty smooth. At least the experiences I've had. Yeah. Like, the lobby's been set up and great. You move for match great. I wasn't experiencing any lag or anything of that nature. And I do know it's peer-to-peer. It's not dedicated service. So obviously, if someone does have a bad connection, that could affect things. But for the most part, if you have a stable connection and you're playing Mario Kart and you're playing these games, it is very impressive. I was actually impressed with Nintendo that they were able to pull that off. And like I said, we were just getting a couple of races in for the ILP, and it was popping.
I do 4-player split screen in the house, and it's amazing.
Really?
And I compare it to the Wii U. All right, because remember, I still have my Wii U and I still have the Mario Kart. So I compare it to the Wii U. Remember, the Wii U is not running as fast as this, and the resolution is not the same. And it has hiccups when you're playing 4-player. This has no hiccups. and it's 60 and it's moving.
Oh,
good.
It looks nice,
It's
man. It does.
Very
You
good.
can ask Lord Cognito. I just got it today, and I'm sitting there playing. I'm like, yo, like the game feels like it's 3D because it's so smooth.
So sharp.
But
the F-Zero boards have a particular pop to them. I'm just like this. It looks so amazing.
But I do want to.
It looks amazing.
And Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
I do want to say something before we move on. I feel like that out of everything Nintendo needs, people speculate, say they need third party. They do need third party, but they need modern social aspects way more than third party. Because think about Xbox and PlayStation. If you didn't have that social aspect of the Xbox and PlayStation, third party games are useless.
Yeah, it's huge. Community is huge, man.
But you don't have the IPs Nintendo have. This is what they're rocking with their IPs only right now. This is what you got to understand. Like, they're doing this all with no social interaction, just their IPs.
And for all intents, King is right, because all intents and purposes, as great as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, it's a remake of a Wii U game, right? Let's just call it what it is. And for this to have this much success is really mind-boggling to me. One last question before we move on with the Lords. I just wanted to, with the Wii U, with 10 million, it would pass the Wii U in a year, lifetime. How do we feel about that?
Well,
this bad marketing for the Wii U. It was just bad marketing.
It was a mixture between marketing. It was a mixture between, let's be real here, the Nintendo like a year into the Wii U was like, this is a failure, and they stopped supporting it. Like for the last 2 or 3 years of the Wii U's lifespan, every direct videos. Direct X, I think that's what they call it. I don't know.
Something like that.
Every E3 of those, it was all about the 3DS. They kept building up this platform. They did moves like, with the Super Smash Brothers. I realized that, the 3DS has a fan base. And they wanted to recuperate some of that install base, but don't put the platform that's struggling out after the platform that's doing good. It's like they should have dropped the Wii U version, and then 3 or 4 months later they should have announced and dropped the 3DS version, because a lot of the people that's willing to go out and pick up a Wii U, they have a 3DS. So if you literally give them the option to not pick up a Wii U and keep their 3DS and play Super Smash Brothers, because that's one of their biggest titles. A lot of people pick up consoles for Super Smash Brothers. It didn't happen. I know a lot of people that didn't buy Wii U because they had a handheld.
Another thing with the Wii U is that their unwillingness to drop the price. They never really dropped the price on that machine. It probably is. It's probably $250.
Still the same price right now. It's more than I told you the other day, it's more than a used Xbox One.
Wow.
And that's refurbished.
That's crazy.
And if you look at the 3DS, the 3DS, they dropped the price, a few months in with the ambassador program, and they dropped it $7.
And it's with the Zeldas that they popped out for the 3DS, they popped out the 3D remake of Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. I get that, those are 3D. That's why it's on a 3D platform. But they could have ported an HD re-release with Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, because these games will help move your consoles, because these are beloved games. Nintendo is the only company in the gaming industry that can literally remake the same game 15 times and people will go out and buy it.
Oh, absolutely. But
the reason why the price didn't drop on the system was because of the architecture that was inside the IBM Power PC flipper crap. That stuff that's inside there was too costly on Nintendo, and for them to cut the price any margin, any lower than what it is absolutely eating, and they're giving them away. All right, so they're not gonna do that. They called them back from the store. They recalled all of them. They will rather recall all of them than sell out the lot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. At this point right now, like I said, the stock is just selling out. I mean, they're really moving out here. It would be funny, like you said, if they just surpassed them so quickly, but it looked like at this rate, they could hit that 10 million goal. All we want is a couple of little features along the way, but we're being patient with Grandpa. He's out
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
He's out here doing his thing. Shout out to Laura Quino in the chat. We're gonna move on to the next topic. I'm gonna get this over to Lord King. Some Scorpio news. Little headset. Man,
yeah, I was just about to. I was looking at that. That thing look official.
Yeah, shout out to Laura Quino for bringing it to the round table as well. He brought it to my attention as well. But Lord King, I know this is you right here, so I'm gonna let you rock with this. Just tell me about the Scorpio headset.
The Scorpio headset is a wireless headset that automatically docks with the system. Like once I guess you turn the system on, it automatically pairs with it like a controller. So I guess it takes out the cumbersome nature of the controller being the medium in between the system and the headset. And the Dolby Atmos is built into the system at the metal level, right? This is what I'm understanding. Right, so then it takes away, it separates the processing from the CPU, and that dedicated piece of hardware that's in there, that you're gonna have the best sound. So my question is, for the Scorpio, right? Being that the headset is wireless, and are we gonna be seeing a wireless system? Do you think that's a possibility at this point in time, where we just plug it into a power source and we pair it with our television while we're looking for the signal? Because a lot of our TVs are smart TVs. Could we have a dongle that's an HDMI dongle, maybe?
Nah, because I don't think a wireless would be that strong enough to hold the 4K. You know what I mean? We need that native 4K connection. So that's the only reason why I would say no.
But what if what if they say for 1080p? You could do it this way, but if you want to do the 4K, you got to hardwire it.
Too confusing.
I think the hardware, it would be too expensive too. Like if you're talking about keeping the price down, I don't think they'd include something like that just yet.
Yeah, it would be tough because also it looks like they want to make, I guess, 4K like such a requirement from the dev on the base level. It seems like from a promotional standpoint, marketing standpoint, that's what they're really putting their chest out there. 4K, we do this, da da da. But as far as what you're saying about King with the headset, with that headset though, listen, man, one of the biggest mistakes of this generation was when the Xbox One came out with that chat headset crap that you gotta stay attached to the damn controller. I mean, again, it's one of those things with Don Matrix, the Don with his foolish decision, and it's like when it's not broke, don't fix it. It was one of those things. When we had 360s, I remember having that small little wireless earbud thing. Remember, it was like a default 360 wireless headset. It was so smooth. I had my controller. I didn't have to stay tethered to it. You know what I'm saying? It was just a beautiful thing. And it was like when Xbox One came out. Now I don't know if it was a deal with Turtle Beach or something they had, but they just forced that damn connection to the chat piece, and it annoyed me. And even like now, like I have the A50s, right? The Astros, right? Supposedly wireless headset, right? And I still have to stay attached to it. It's ridiculous. So when I saw this, what is it? Let's get this out to give them some promo here. LucidSound LS35X wireless, and again, not only are they talking about the Dolby Atmos, they talking about Windows Sonic. Like that's a new feature right now. If you guys are in the preview program, it's a feature. It's kind of like to simulate almost like a 7.1 surround bit going on. And it sounds pretty good. I actually used a lot of the features and messed around with the settings on it. It sounds real good. They also talking about like some type of like head tracking software that's in it. So some type of tech in it to even really simulate like almost like a 7.1 and with Atmos and all that. So to me, I don't care how much this thing is. I'm going in day one.
$150.
Here's the thing. You know what's crazy though? Think about it. Is there does the PlayStation 4 Pro have any like accessories that only work with the Pro, like headsets or anything like that?
No, they wouldn't do that. Nah, it would have to be compatible across PlayStation.
But the thing is, this is only for the Scorpio. This won't be able to work for the Xbox One.
No, they said it does.
It does?
No, it works for
Windows
all
10.
Xbox.
Windows 10,
all Xbox and Microsoft peripherals.
They did say Xbox One. He's right. Yeah, it says Xbox One, Project Scorpio, and Windows 10.
All right, but it syncs. Does it sync wirelessly with the Xbox One S? Like it does?
I'm assuming
they haven't confirmed. They haven't confirmed that though. They haven't confirmed.
Yeah, they said on the PC it's a dongle.
With the PC and the Scorpio,
Yeah.
I don't. We got to see because it may be an old school setup for us. Because does this the Xbox One S even have that functionality in it so that we can go wireless?
I don't.
You know
think
what I mean?
So. I don't think so.
Yeah, if nothing's taken advantage of it till now, I don't think so. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have to use a dongle the same way for the PC. You have to use a dongle, so probably so.
Got you. Yeah, but I'm sorry, let's move. I cut you.
Yeah,
That's all right. No, that was great.
Yeah. So, Lord Attic, what do you feel about this tech going on? Just Lucid interest you from Lucid Sound?
I have to see it.
Check my Twitter feed. I actually retweeted
I have to see it in person.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I mean,
you'll be seeing it at E3. I can tell you that because if they drop this information now, baby, you best believe you're gonna come in. You're gonna see it. Remember when we went to the side and they had a whole little Microsoft section and they was doing the controllers and we was like, oh, they have a controller lab over there, and they gave us the little cards and we was able to go in there and make our controllers at the point in time. Well, they had a whole series of headsets there also, and they had a whole series of PCs there because they were talking about the Play Anywhere and the Gears of War 4K, and it was giving you the difference between the 4K and the regular. And I'm telling you, that setup that they had, Microsoft had in their section, was amazing. They're embracing the PC people while still keeping the Xbox people enthused. And remember, PC is heavy on the headset, so I'm very happy that Phil Spencer's in control of things because he understands what these guys like and what we like, and these guys are having a premium experience, and he's bringing that over to us. So I really appreciate all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I can't wait to get my hands on that so I can mute Lord Anchorman that's in the chat. I can give him that strong mute on my Lucid Sound.
Did he just call us Iron Lord podcast douches? You realize I still have the timeout button, right? We do a special
Monday edition, which interferes with the great and mighty multiverse.
Listen, we understand that the Red Skull is down there in the chat room mucking about. Corporate
anchor.
Lord Sub, I want to get your feeling on this. Are you day one-ing? Are you waiting and seeing where you at with this Lucid?
I never like to day one peripherals like that unless there's a review up first or a number of reviews up first. So just looking at the picture of it, like the build quality seems like it's pretty good. Like again, it's something that you have to really kind of get a feel for beforehand. If a few people review it and it's positive, I'm more than likely to pick it up.
Cool.
Unless but you know that Astro may well be on the heels of this and release something else. True. And so I'm sure Turtle Beach is doing the same thing too. So this is just the first one down the pipeline.
Now for this premium gaming sound, what are the Lords willing to pay?
200. 200. I got 200 on the table. Two on the table.
Yeah, I think 250.
Yeah,
two's good.
What do you say, Lord Attic?
I say 150.
That's what I would say.
150. Why Dolby Atmos? All that tech, head tracking.
No, you said what he's willing to pay. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
You didn't say what's the price point of this bad boy.
Let me explain to you guys with Gaming Addict headsets. Okay, we don't get along, so I don't normally are willing to dish out $200 for a headset because I go through headsets fast for some reason. I don't know why. I take care of my headsets, but for some reason I have the worst luck when it comes to headsets.
Yeah, you're not as bad as Valicon. He's another one. Yeah, Lord Anchor says tree fitty for Lord Anchor, man. He says that.
No, Lord Anchor's crazy.
Where you at? With the price, would you be willing to pay for?
What would I'd be willing to pay $150. I have, believe it or not, I have not paid no more than $175 for headphones.
Okay, gotcha.
It just like wireless does make it convenient. That right there,
huge.
Because one of the biggest issues I have with with headsets is shorting. Like it shorts too quickly. So if I would be willing to spend an extra $100 for something that's going to be more competent because it's not going to get a short in it.
Exactly. And think about this, Lord.
Anchorman
Not only can we Anchorman said
$3.50.
He said that's $3.50. $3.50. He's a fool. Shout out to Lauren Craig, yo, 200. I feel you on that.
What's Smooth doing here? He's got $1,000 to win.
Oh, he's gonna win that. He got that. I got confidence, Lord Smooth. He's doing this thing on that Uncharted. But what I was gonna say, Lord Attic, is that with that headset, we could actually have the freedom to move around and play our Switch wirelessly.
Hey, I was confined to my controller. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, look, King, I'm with you on this headset, man. It's pretty exciting stuff, and can't wait for this thing to drop. So,
Hell, you know what I was thinking?
Yeah,
you might really be on to something with this headset for that Switch because you ain't gonna get chat to Christmas.
Got to use another platform to get that good Nintendo experience.
He's got 4 chapters left, Anchorman.
No doubt. So we are going to move on, and I want to get this over to Lord Smooth because today we heard of a big basketball announcement. So
I'm going downstairs for a second. I'll be back.
No doubt. What do you, Lord Smooth? What's dropping out in these streets?
Well, we all know NBA Playgrounds comes out tomorrow for the Switch, Xbox One, and PS4, and I think PC maybe. But that's not the basketball news I want to talk about, even though I'm interested in NBA Playground. NBA2K18 went up for pre-order today, and they're getting very creative with their pricing and bundles. So you got a standalone game for $59.99. You just get the game, of course, and then you got their little special edition at $100, and then you got their legendary edition with all the gold coins and stuff and little digital stuff for $150. And I have really a big problem with that. The thing is, this is why sports games should be free to play. They should just follow the free to play model. The thing about 2K and Madden and all of them, they dib and dab in both. They'll sell you a full retail game and then still get you with the free to play model. And that's exactly what this is. So that $150. Let me look up to see what this stuff gets you right here. Let me open up my Xbox app right quick, because I as a digital game, right, I still don't know what would benefit me getting this thing. So let's see.
Hey, look, Lord Smooth. Let me. While you look this up, let me read you a comment in the section. Anchorman B says, "Yo, I heard LeBron got removed from NBA Live 18. Do you have a response?"
He coming for your NBA Live. He coming for your NBA Live.
Wow. Yeah, that would never happen. And I'm a beast at NBA Live, so it wouldn't bother me if a certain player was removed, because I'd still, be dominating anyway. So I win with teams like the Celtics and the Pacers. So I ain't got nothing to worry about.
And I got to give it up to Lord Smooth. I actually checked out one of his videos, his live streams, and when he plays for real. I just really got to get that up to him. Yeah,
thanks. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's look at this. All right, we have the Legend Edition is $49.99, and you'll get Shaq on the cover with a Lakers jersey. The $100 version, you get Shaq on the cover with a Heat jersey. The $59.99.
Wait.
I'm dead serious. The $59.99 version, you just get NBA 2K18 logo and the basketball. So let's look into what this stuff is worth, right? Cool. I'm gonna read this. Pre-order the NBA 2K18 Legend Edition Gold now to receive 250,000 virtual currency, Shaq digital items for your My Player, and more. The NBA 2K18 Legend Edition Gold includes the following digital items: 250,000 VC, 40 My Team packs to build your perfect fantasy team delivered in 1 week, featuring a guaranteed Shaq card, 1 random team 2K free agent card, and more. Shaq Attack shoes, rookie Shaq jersey, Shaq official logo t-shirt, Shaq nickname jersey, Shaq championship ring, Mitchell and Ness Shaq jersey collection, 5 in total. Additional My Player apparel items, $150. Is that worth $150? Digital stuff. Shoes.
To a Shaq
Jerseys.
Yes. Do they have it? Wait, now you say jersey. We're not talking about a real jersey. We talking about him.
No,
the box.
a jersey to put on your rusty player. Look.
Oh no.
Oh, I got a number 34 shot. I could put I could boot up NBA Live right now.
Like if you would have given
Shaq jersey on my player
in the box, I might have been with you. If it was a little Mitchell and Ness, little throwback joint. Give me a replica.
You know the problem I have about virtual currency? This VC that they're making bank over. Mm-hmm. Stuff doesn't follow you from game to game. So you get a million VC. You done wasted $250 of real money to get that VC, and you only got really a year to use it. You only can use it on that game.
Shout out to Lord
That's
Black and Lord
exactly how I
go
feel.
In. Not to cut you, Lord King.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
They go in every year. It's a battle. Whenever the new 2K comes out with Lord Black, Lord Neil, they will go and put down a buck on VC just so they My Player could be better than the next one before the game releases. And they do this every year. And I'm like, yo, y'all are mind-boggling with this right there. Like, 2K is making hand over fist on that VC right now. So I do feel what Lord Spoon was saying. Like one would think if you put that much money into the game and it's tied to your account, because they do have your email account when you sign in, that it should carry over.
No,
that's crazy. But go ahead, look, I cut you, man.
That's exactly how I feel with Destiny. That's exactly how I feel. My money, my time, my effort. I tried the other day. I tried to do the ring, and I kept saying every time I was trying my hardest to jump onto the platform to do whatever, it boiled down to the fact that this doesn't matter. And I said, damn. I said, me struggling right here doesn't matter. I was in the room for the camaraderie with the friends, but then the following day, I had a chance to jump in the raid ahead of somebody, and it was like, hey, you want to jump in there? And I was like, nope. It's not worth the effort because it's not carrying over. It's not even like they're saying, they said you bring your face. This 2K crap, you don't even bring your face. Like, you don't bring anything. You spend $500, whatever you play, how much you spend, and how much time you put into the game. And I see you guys playing on that My Court stuff so hard. You play so hard, man. And for it to be worthless the next time it come out, nah.
They got the hustle going on, man.
I stopped buying years ago. And for him to say you got a jersey, I knew they wasn't putting a real cotton jersey inside a box. I knew that. Not them guys. Hell no.
Crazy right there.
They probably give you a picture of a jersey.
I know we haven't done an NBA game in some time, but as of the news that Lord Smooth was brought to the table, what do you feel about these?
I feel Lord Smooth's pain, but I'm going to relate it to my sport, which is baseball. And I spoke a little bit about this last week. MLB The Show. Now, let me read something off here. MLB The Show Hall of Fame edition, GameStop exclusive, $100. $100, and you get a box, like a little box with Ken Griffey's jersey name and number kind of on the box, and that's it. And then you get an MLB hat that's not even a fitted cap. Like, oh man, and that's $100.
Not now even that official $59.50. We getting
that's
that.
Not even the most egregious part of it. MLB 17 The Show digital deluxe version on PSN, $100. Digital deluxe version.
And now
this is what you get. You get for that Diamond Dynasty a card game that they have. You get a few packs, some gold packs, some starter packs. You get what they call a digital deluxe pack. So the vast majority of stuff you get is all this Diamond Dynasty stuff that if you don't like or you don't play, it's just a waste. It means nothing. And then you get 31 PS4 Major League Baseball themes you can cycle through all of the MLB teams on your dashboard.
Lord, the hustle is real out here.
It is absolutely egregious. I don't necessarily agree that all games should go into the free-to-play model, but like I said last week, for my MLB, since it is the only game in town, I don't like the fact that they bring out a new game every year. Granted, they have 9 months to turn over a game, and the changes that they make are generally only readily apparent to the people that play those games hardcore, that are going to play 50 games into a season and see the small little nuances and things that have changed. Otherwise, if you look at it on the surface, you're not really going to see the differences. And
not to cut you, because in the chat, Lord BK Best, I made a point to your point, which was saying, but what do you say to those to the people that say, it's for the enthusiasts? If you're like just heavy into sports, then you're gonna buy that every year.
I'm a baseball enthuenthusiast. That's not for the enthusiast. For the idiot. It's for the idiot. It's not for the enthusiast.
Why I gotta be for the idiot?
No, I'm sorry. Look, I get it. But the thing is, if they weren't just going to offer you more of the same.
But when your man get traded, right? What's your favorite player? He get traded to that hot team. You know what I'm saying? Or in your case, related to baseball with the Yankees, and they made that hot acquisition. You know what I'm saying? You got 2-3 of them plays. You're going to want to run with that a little bit. No temptation.
Yeah, but it's to me, give me a roster update. Yeah, you know what I mean? Give me a roster update. I don't need any of that other stuff. Give me a roster update.
So in your case, you would be content to stay with the base, let's say 2016, and as long as they just kept updating the roster, then you would be good with that.
At least if ideally, this is the way I see it should be done. Give me a base game. Let's say 2017, MLB The Show's 2017 is the base game. Give me roster updates when you would normally release a new game every year for the next 2 years. Roster updates and some improvements. Whatever you can do with a skeleton team. Take the base team and give me something brand new, 100% polished, different than what you had before every 2 or 3 years, so that it's refreshed. So they don't have any competition. They don't have any competition. To me, and again, I'll never call them.
That's the problem.
Sports games should be games for service. Like there should not be $60 sports games. They shouldn't even release annually. It should be literally a massive MMO multiplayer game. You free to play, and then because I just don't understand. Like they sell it right. They make money off this stuff every year, and then they're making even more money now that they got these ultimate team cards and now 2K with ABCs. It's like it works better. So all sports games will work much better as a free to play.
So here's the issue, and I feel you guys like Lost Move, Lost Saw. Like I'm the sports guy as well. I feel what you guys are saying. The problem is like I never forget in 2015 I was at E3 and I had a conversation with Phil, and I said. I pulled him to the side. I was like, Phil, what's going on with Microsoft not having a baseball game? Like I was like really tight. I was in my feelings. It was my first time meeting. There was like a list of questions I had for him, and this is one of them. And I'm like, so he looked at me almost perplexed, like, yeah, why don't we? And then he kind of like leaned over to Aaron Greenberg.
You kind of have to like take perspective of Phil Spencer here. He's just chilling. He's walking down the thing.
Let me finish it. Let me finish it. This is exactly my point, because he looks over to Greenberg, and Greenberg's looking at him like, but that MLB license, how much that costs, right? Like he had that look like, don't be promising nothing to Lord Cognito just yet, because we got to look at the numbers kind of thing. So the vibe I'm getting is that to house that license, to purchase it so they can have it, to have the ability to make said sports games is so costly that I guess the way they're looking at it, they just got to monetize this thing every year. You know what I'm saying? If you do have the license, they're not going to sit on it, because like you said, I mean, in all intents and purposes, I'll be good with the 2-year-old version, just update the rosters or whatever, and then come out with every 2 or 3 years, like a really revamped, robust version of the game. But I think it's just financial. I think it's financial, guys. And
it absolutely is financial, because if they were selling PlayStation numbers, if they had 60 million consoles in the wild, I guarantee you it'd be in the conversation. But since they don't have it, since they don't have it, it only makes financial sense, more financial sense for a third party to take on the license and be able to release on PlayStation, on Xbox, and on Switch. So again, and that narrows everything down because again, EA hasn't showed any interest in coming back to MLB, which I don't understand why. Again,
yeah, EA surprised me that they jumped out. Yeah, I don't. But it has to be licensed.
It's this show. Like when you have a premium product that everybody gravitates to, and no matter how many times you put out a product that could be equal or greater than, but that same crowd keeps flocking to their one desired title, it disheartens the board of directors. And I don't care how good your developers are, they're not going to get funded. They're going to get pushed to the side, and it's not worth purchasing this licensee to rent. The licensee and don't make your returns back off of it. I hear what you're saying. The biggest problem is competition. Competition push growth. If there's no competition in the marketplace, you're stuck with exactly what you're going to get. And this is the problem that you have. So you have to do it with your dollars. You have to grin and bear it. That year, don't buy the game. That year, step back from it.
And that's
if you can't do that, then don't complain.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy who used to buy it every single year, and now I'm going on 3 years that I don't buy the game.
There we go.
No, I feel
That's
you.
right.
I listen. I feel. Shout out to Laura Quinn in the chat because he actually made a good point as far as like 2K, really trying outside, even though there's really no competition for 2K, so to speak. I mean, obviously Live supposedly making a comeback, but they've been dominating, right? So the whole thing is. They're saying that they are trying to make it change it up. I remember one year they did have Spike lead, and one they do try to do things to try to change it up. Even though them online servers, that's something else to be decided. I'm not gonna talk about that. But it is interesting that just to see how, like, from a standpoint, what Lord King is saying from a competition standpoint, like if Live could, and I know Lord Smooth, you ride for Live, I know you do.
Yep.
I just want them to like get in the mix and have a solid addition just to pull them away. Because I mean, me and Lord King are old heads, and we remember the days of like, Madden and versus NBA 2K. I mean, and NFL. Remember when NFL 2K5 and all that was out back? And you saw. I remember. Didn't they have it for like $20 or something one year? It was like they were really coming at
their last 2K game, I believe.
Yeah, they were coming at Madden's throat, and it was something like. Okay, Madden had to get it together, and that's the problem I'm seeing right now. Like, looks like there's single titles kind of dominating, and they're just doing these small iterative updates and not really going in as far as what the potential of the title. So, I agree with Lord King. Competition definitely plays a huge part in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I won't buy a 2K game. I always buy Live. I
feel you. Listen,
that's
I'm
right.
with you.
Vote with your dollars.
Vote with your wallet. Vote with your wallet. I'm all about people voting with their wallet and do what they got to do. Lord Addict, you resident sports guy. You're feeling.
I'll pass.
I figured he didn't have much to say on this, but I feel you. I feel you on that whole bit. But we're gonna move on a little bit. We've been rocking that. So now about this Hall of Fame awards and stuff going on right now. Some awards that got dropped. Lord Sav, you got something for the table on this?
Yeah, definitely. So this week, my topic is really, it's not about any sort of drama or any last minute hot news that dropped or anything like that. No sort of technical breakdowns. Like this week, my topic is basically about, warm, fuzzy, feel good nostalgia, like just straight up nostalgia. Like for me, so last week, basically, the World Video Game Hall of Fame announced its inductees for this year. And I usually just like kind of glance over whatever games are being inducted, but I never really give it much thought. But this year, when I looked at the inductees, I glanced at it and I said, this is kind of a snapshot of my entire childhood, my childhood in my early 20s. And it has for me anyway, three of the most influential games at different points of my life, going in at the same time. So it was just to me, it was kind of like this rush of like kind of like happiness and like nostalgia that all these games are coming in at the same time. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about that, like my personal feelings on some of these games, and I wanted to know what the Lords felt about it. So, so quickly, just for me, like, I don't have much of a history with Pokemon. So Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green are one of the inductees. And I honestly, I was a little too old when Pokemon came out to kind of gravitate towards that. But my brother, Lord Kaibatsu, definitely is a big Pokemon fan. But for me, the three other games that resonated started with Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was released in 1981. For me, that was one of the first games that I got for my Atari 2600. That, along with Combat and Pac-Man, were like the launch games that I had. And
talk
for
that
me,
OG talk. Talk that OG talk song.
I must have had Donkey Kong. Like Lord Kaibatsu and I would play Atari 2600 for hours on end, trying to outdo each other in Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong for the 2600 is pretty simple. Like, you don't have much variety in terms of stages. It would just get harder and harder. So this is, I mean, just thinking about your childhood and all the fun you had playing this game. You know, without Donkey Kong, we don't have Mario.
Real talk.
And you think about, like, for me, all the different iterations of Donkey Kong that I had. I mean, I don't know how many Game & Watches with Donkey Kong. Tabletop Donkey Kong. Like, it was really like everything I could get my hands on in terms of Donkey Kong, I remember wanting. Like, I didn't have a ColecoVision, and Lord Cognito knows that we had a friend named Marcus who had all of these systems, and I go to his house and I play Donkey Kong on his ColecoVision. So, I mean, this is, to me, this game in a lot of ways defined my love for video games as a young child, and I'm just really happy to see it, you know, get its just due, because obviously it's not it's not considered the masterpiece that a Mario Brothers is. But again, without Donkey Kong, you don't have all that other stuff. So I was really happy to see that. The next one that really caught my eye was Street Fighter 2. These are my teen years. These are my teen years, and I wasn't around. I was away at school, so I wasn't around like Lord Cognito and Lord King to sort of, you know, play competitively, whatnot. But amongst my high school friends, like, this was it. Like, we many a night. Oh my God, on a Super Nintendo, it was the most amazing experience. Like, we would go hours and hours screaming, yelling. I mean, the feeling that you get when you learn how to do a Dragon Punch. It's amazing. It's amazing. I still remember the feeling I got when I first was able to throw out a Dragon Punch without thinking about it. And then I got to the point, like, where I mastered, like, Zangief's spinning pile driver, which was really hard, like, on the Super Nintendo. So stuff like that. Like, I'm glad to see that this game is getting its just due, because this game is what it was, the archetype for what fighting games are today. The original Street Fighter, or Fighting Street, as it was called on the TurboGrafx, like, it kind of paved the way for it, but it was still kind of stiff. It was very difficult to control.
Yeah.
Street Fighter
really
gave
like
you,
but there are all over the world.
Street Fighter 2,
red
what it did
Ryu.
Yes,
oh
sir.
my God, that was exactly. And the thing is, like, this was such a leap from that it gave you those controls that you had in games like the brawlers, like the Streets of Rage and stuff like that. It gave you that type of tight control in a fighting game setting, in a one versus one setting. And it just, like, it blew up everywhere. Like, if it was on Super Nintendo, if it was in the arcades, we were playing it. Like, so I'm really glad for it to finally get its just due. And then finally, Halo Combat Evolved.
Let's talk about it.
That defined my early 20s, and I know it did. And this is a shared experience that I had with Lord King and Lord Cognito. This game, I remember
Live.
Absolutely. I remember standing outside of an EB Games with Lord King, waiting for the store to open so we could pick up our Xboxes. And I already had it in my mind. I only picked up 3 games on launch day. I picked up Project Gotham Racing,
yes, sir.
Dead or Alive 4, and Halo. And I played them in that order. And I waited till the end of the day to play Halo. I didn't get to Halo till about maybe 7 o'clock at night, and I was playing games all day. And when I threw Halo on, I remember I played for like an hour, and I called Lord Cognito, and I said, "Man, have you played Halo yet? Have you played it?" He said, "No, I haven't gotten to it yet." I was, oh my Lord, call me when you play. And it was, and this is just the story, and the way it kind of it brought that first person shooter feel. These are from guys. I personally played Half-Life on the PC. I had played a little bit of Counter-Strike and stuff like that. So I had a feeling. I had a feeling of what a first person shooter should feel like. But it's the first time it was done properly on a console. And that, you know, that feeling, that AI, the way they reacted to your every move, and the story of Master Chief, like, it was just an amazing experience. And then when we got together and we did LAN parties and we figured out that multiplayer and did LAN parties, that defined my early 20s. Like, really, like all of these games are classics in their own right. And the great thing about it is that nostalgia is oftentimes, it's a little cloudy. And when you go back to these games, they're not quite what you remember. But what you have to remember is that the nostalgia comes from place and time, what, you know, like where you were in your life at that point, and that's why those games are special to you in that moment. So I'm just really, it was just really exciting for me to see all these games coming in together and be like, man, that's like a snapshot of my life, like in terms of my gaming life. So.
That's real talk, man. That's real talk. You give a lot of feels right now. I gotta get this king right now.
Feel good.
A lot of feels right now. And I know the young Jesus listen like, damn, they old, but
oh man, listen. Let's say I got something older than that. From with that Donkey Kong, I remember popping in quarters, brother. I remember going to Susie's, standing there popping in quarters. I picked it up for Atari 2600. I picked it up for 5200, and I picked it up for 7800. I had it for ColecoVision. Wasn't as good as the 7800. I had it at tabletop, and I was rocking it very hard. When Street Fighter comes out, I can tell you right now, Cognito knows how we got down with that.
Ooh. I remember my man from high school. They didn't believe you that you had the Japanese version.
Oh man, you almost got your man killed that day. Your man almost died that day.
They almost died that day. A Lord was almost down that day.
Man, let me tell you, boy, because that cartridge cost me $250, and I brought it with Japanese Famicom Street Fighter, and I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter, busting down mad quarters, probably dropping $20 a day, busting button Street Fighter. So, I brought it for TurboGrafx 16. I brought it for the PC Engine. I brought it for the Super Nintendo, and I brought it for the Super Famicom. Got it for the Super Famicom first. And I brought it for Genesis. Let me tell you, when I first got it, Lord Cognito came over. I was working at a place. He brought his friend over, and I looked at the dude. The dude had a ponytail. I don't mess with these dudes with these ponytails. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If you're a grown ass man, you got a ponytail. I'm not messing with that.
Lord King went to destroy this man. I could
this
never
dude gonna sit there. I told him don't bring him. No. This dude gonna look at the game and said it's not arcade perfect. I said get him out of here. Get him out of here.
That's back in the day when we wasn't trying to hear that. When you spent that $200, you didn't want to hear no one talk about any flaws in
because you know, and I whispered in Cognito's ear. I said, I can't guarantee your friend safe passage. So get him out of here. It then came to Halo. Like Lord Sovereign just explained, we were standing in front of EB Games, and I purchased it, and I think I got blinks with it. I picked up whatever the launch games was. I picked up all the launch games, and like he said, in that order, those orders that you played the games in, he was like, yeah, let me check these games out. The first game I put in was Dead or Alive. Knocked that out. It was beautiful, breathtaking. The next game I picked in was Project Gotham Racing. I was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Kudos. Remember the kudos?
Kudos system.
Yes. I put in the Halo, and I remember when it first hit me, when I turned on the flashlight, when the flashlight came on, when I went in the dark.
Yes, and back then you had the black and white camera buttons on the OG Duke controller. What you know about that?
Yeah, the big giant joint that could kill a person. Let me tell you, man, when I went into the dark and the flashlight comes on, I don't remember flashlights being done in first-person games up to that point. I'm sorry, I don't remember it. But after that, I knew that was a thing that I can't go back from. I can't go back. That flashlight came on. And I remember keeping in constant contact with Cognito after, you know, because we all did the talk first, and then the LAN hit. When 16 grown men are up inside a man's house with 4 Xboxes and 4 televisions playing Halo for 10 hours straight. There's no more dedication other than what we was putting in. We was putting in that work. So anybody talk about these bars and stripes, I was just sold in on our arm. So don't come at us sideways. We purchased TVs to play together.
Talk about it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Lord High coming up the stairs with his TV on his back.
we all went in on putting the money together to get the extra TV.
An extra TV.
Yep.
Listen, let me jump in on this right quick because I know we got some young bucks on this call. And I know Lord Smooth and I know Lord Attic is like, God damn, they're talking some old OG talk. But let me explain to y'all. Like, Lord Sovereign really just nailed it because it's like I looked at those inductees on the Hall of Fame list, and I was just like, wow, like Lord Sovereign just nailed it perfectly. Like, it's like different time periods that you grew up with, you know what I'm saying, and you remember. So it's like with Donkey Kong for me is even special because my first video game was from Pop Dukes. Like, he gave me a Coleco, you know what I'm saying? And he just like, look, here you go, boom, got me off on it. So I had the Donkey Kong. I remember that all that birth Mario, all that birth to Donkey Kong Country, everything that we got till now, you know what I'm saying, that is looking hot. That's the foundation right there. There would be none of this Mario anything without Donkey Kong. So that's what I remember, Lord King, even the little tabletop joints that look like mini arcades that used to put, remember the small ones that used to buy arcade, but they were miniatures that had Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So again, like, people don't understand. You got to do your history. If you do this video game stuff, you got to do your history. So that's number one. Number two, Street Fighter is so epic. Like, Street Fighter is so epic. People have no idea. Like, that changed the game. Like, just doing that first all you can for the first time. What we used to call it? The psychic world kick. We just made up what it sounded like because we didn't even know what it, you know what I mean? What it was, but it was just so amazing. And at that time, just the craze that Street Fighter had, like it just tore the roof off, man. And even before that one with the original part one, and I remember Lord King, you had that Turbo Graphics CD.
Yes.
And that actually was arcade perfect.
It was the Hue card. It was the first 32-man Hue card, and I had to get the extension to put it in. But,
bro, let me tell you. Like that was when I was like, wow. Like, because back in those days, Lord Attic, Lord Smooth was like, arcade games came out. Now there was a little drop off when you got the console version. That was just a fact. Like, you started to notice it. Like, okay, that's not exactly how it looked, or this is not exactly how it sounds. But it was like as the evolution got more and more, things started to get closer, and then we just gotta bring it to Halo. I mean, listen, like the way I look at Halo is like, I guess how these young kids look at Call of Duty now. You know what I mean? Like, Halo was the OG. Like, that changed the game on FPS. Like, there was no FPS that controlled the way it controlled, the smoothness in the graphics, the story, the AI, the AI not following set patterns and doing all that stuff. And I just remember the grunts, like, you just pop them in the head in a little birthday. Like, like that. And like, I just remember that game. And then I'm just talking about the single play. Then when we found out, we said, all right, let's touch the multiplayer. Let's see what it's about. And shout out Lord High. No, we had whole Webster projects up in there. like we had your whole project come to my house, 4 TVs.
Melrose deep
in the building. Like, everybody was deep. Like, it was all about Halo. Like, you don't understand. It was every Saturday. Be at Lord Cognito's crib. We got the Halo going on. We're gonna talk that talk. We're gonna go in. Everybody's doing team deathmatch. Then, like, did they have? I'm trying to think back then. Did they have the other modes too? Was it deathmatch and They had the big battle one, right? On
Capture the flag. Capture the flag. Big battle.
Oh man, the rivalries and how beastie the regular pistol used to be. Remember the regular pistol? How OP?
Shout out to Ha. Shout out to Ha.
Oh my lord.
Yo, shout out to BK Best Style. Just putting it down, talking about Penguin Village, New York City Chinatown Fair. This is real OG talk. I'm feeling you right now. I know where you at.
That's right. That's where we got it from. He understands.
Shout out to Lord Sinister 2 in the chat. He was a beast. Just to watch him, Lord King, all y'all going at it on that Halo.
Yo, Lord Jason, Lord David. Remember, they took our Halo movement and took it to the corners on the street. Purchased TVs in front of the Coochie Fritos. Playing outside for money.
Listen,
Halo outside in the streets.
People don't understand, like, Halo was a movement. That changed console FPS. There was nothing like it. And then that evolved into what we now know, Halo 2. And when Halo 2 dropped, it was over. Because that's when Xbox Live.
Oh, it was over. It was over.
It was over. So now you're saying that we can do that tradition that we did in other people, in our own homes? Like, it was mind-boggling at that time, Lord. Mind-boggling, Lord. Like, Xbox Live for what it did. And that whole foundation. So again, just seeing this list is just a whole nostalgia, just like a whole rush. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, that's history right there. But I'm curious to see what the young OGs feel about this list. So I know we've been rambling, we've been going back in the day, talking about them old mixtapes. But Lord Smooth, what you feel on this, man? When you see this list?
He texted me. He had something he had to handle.
Oh yeah. Or no doubt. So I'm gonna give it to you, Attic. What do you feel when you saw this list?
Can someone give me the list, please?
So the list is Street Fighter 2, Donkey Kong, Halo 1. I believe was the Pokemon's on the list also.
Pokemon Red and
Green.
When it comes to Hall of Fame games, I feel like just because a game is phenomenal or extremely good doesn't necessarily mean it should be like Hall of Fame worthy. I feel like a Hall of Fame game should be something that revolutionized gaming in general.
Talk about it.
Like Halo made first-person shooters mainstream on consoles. You know, it made it mainstream. It didn't make it mainstream. It made it socially acceptable to gamers to play on consoles because before then it was a PC thing.
Absolutely.
Call of Duty made it mainstream on consoles because it made it to where it was like, you know, that they made the term dude bro everywhere. Like, you know, just because people call a game dude bro, that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. It's just it's a huge casual market game. You know, I would say that, you know, Street Fighter, it deserves to be on there because it kept the fighting genre to its peak. You know, without Street Fighter, it's debatable if some of these head-to-head fighters would even be existing. Because of that game, you know, I feel like games that revolutionize gaming, they deserve to be on. You know, Pokemon, I feel like the reason it's on there, it's one of the few exceptions. Pokemon took on a mind of its own. Like, especially when I was growing up, you know, I was in my teenage.
That's why I wanted your perspective on Pokemon. I really was curious about your perspective on it. Talk about it.
When I was, you know, you see games. I mean, Pokemon. If you get so big where you can just flop out a half-ass card game because of your name, that's when you know you've made it. You know, and to this day, people still play the Pokemon game. You know, there's a reason it's $1 billion franchise because no one had that turn-based, you know, and Nintendo did. That's one of the main reasons that the handheld market is dominated by Nintendo is because of Pokemon. People don't necessarily only play Pokemon on the handhelds, but they buy it to play Pokemon and they get all the other software afterwards. You know, I would honestly say the most innovative company that's in gaming is Nintendo because they have so many franchises. You know, without Mario, we wouldn't have these 3D platformers. We without Pokemon, you know, so you know, I think Final Fantasy VII would be in the Hall of Fame thing because that really opened people's eyes to the Japanese market in the Western Coast because people didn't really attach to Japanese market in the Western Coast until that game. people bought it, but people didn't buy it in the hordes that they did after that game.
Shout out to Lord Kaiban to the chat. He's like, Pokemon had teachers hiding kids' Game Boys away from them, took it away, put it from their students. That's how addictive that game was. That's crazy.
So, I feel like there should be more games on that Hall of Fame than there actually is. I think that a game that's probably going to be recognized and probably go in the Hall of Fame in in 5-10 years is The Witcher. I think The Witcher is really put like a milestone to where like this is where your RPG is now. This is where you got to be now. So there's games that's constantly doing that. It's like we were talking a couple weeks ago. If Crackdown is anything what they claim it's going to be, that's going to be another milestone. That's like, these is what action adventure games are. This is what you got to be. It's like, I consider a game that's Hall of Fame worthy is something that changed the entire gaming industry to be more like that game.
Absolutely. I 100%. It has to be revolutionary. It has to change the game. It has to introduce a mechanic or something that's never been seen before. And then generally when you see that type of thing, you see other games tend to follow suit. And then you come up, sometimes those expressions, oh, this is a Halo clone, or this is a, Pokemon clone. Like, that's when you know that the base game set the trend. You know what I mean? That set the movement kind of thing. So, yeah, Lord King, I know you got to get out of here, but before I just wanted to get a little OG talk before you left. You know what I'm saying? About that list. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you. But
I'm headed to the end. Smooth is done, I believe.
Okay. got this OG talk. I think he was like, "Yeah, it's time to take that trash out." Like I've been asking to.
Like, I can't deal with these old heads.
I'm not gonna lie, I was falling asleep. I ain't slept since yesterday.
It's all good. We did that for the few, man. Shout out to
that's the lack of respect for the OGs. Should have a taser on your neck.
Exactly. You're gonna do this
I'm not saying nothing without you guys contributing to the gaming industry in its early days. We wouldn't be where we are now.
No doubt, man.
Without your money back in the day, it wouldn't be where it is now.
And that was
especially my money.
That was a lot of money.
Especially my money buying them $250 cartridges for that Neo Geo.
Oh Lord, they had people broke out in them streets.
I had to get a job working for Miss Pink. Just I could fund my expeditions, man.
Lord Cognito and I used to get kicked out of the Wiz all the time for playing baseball stars. We used to come from school and go to play baseball stars in the Wiz. Stars.
Wow, you took it back. Yeah, man. This is definitely nostalgia. And it's just like also like you see now the death of the mom and pop because like. Fordham Game World. I know BK Best Eye in the chat. He mentioned some Brooklyn spots, Chinatown. Like the thing about Lord Attic was just so different. Like without the prominence of GameStop and all that stuff at the time. I mean, you still had like little subsidiaries like Funko and EV Games and stuff like that.
Electronic Boutique.
Those eventually became GameStop that was bought out. But it's just funny because you had the competition of going to like a little mom and pop joint. And getting these games ahead of time, and
getting ganked.
You get ganked. But you had some negotiating options. Like you weren't forced to just go to one place. Like you could be like, I worry, but up the block they got it for 55. That Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like you could talk your way into situations. Like gaming was different. Like now it's like. You go to GameStop, they the only ones in town. That's it. You at their mercy, kind of thing. Besides Best Buy, maybe that's about it.
We'll revisit that conversation in 5 years.
True, if they even exist.
Nah, it's gonna take more than 5, but they are definitely on their deathbed.
Man, definitely. What's up? You want to jump in before we wrap this topic up? Because this is a good one.
No, man. I'm just glad that got to talk to the young bucks about this stuff because it's important, and. To remember these things because as we sit here and complain about servers not working and this resolution, this, that, and the other, it's always important to remember where you came from because it's like again and it's like Lord Attic said, like if we hadn't been the hardcore gamers that we were back then and still continue to be, gaming wouldn't be where it is. It just would not. It needs that support, and it needs that continued support. So.
It brings it back to my same comments earlier when the young buck was talking about I need my internet functionality for my Switch to work. And I'm like, calm down, bruh. You're gonna get it for Christmas. Calm down, bruh.
The Christmas voice chat is all right. I'm done with you. Look.
They're the Christmas present.
They're the voice chat, baby. But this is another one in the books. It's gonna wrap this thing up. It's good to be back talking with the Lords at the round table. Shout out to Lord Smooth. I know for you still around, but for jumping in, I know
he's being attacked like really bad on Twitter right now.
Yeah, he's got to do what he's got to do. He's got his responsibilities, but I appreciate what him and Weapon Wheel, what they doing, and also that crushing challenge he's got popping off with Uncharted. I tuned in today. That was pretty funny, watching him battle through it, and hopefully he can win that stack.
I was talking to Lord Cognito. I was like, well, you want to play some Mario Kart? He's like, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I'm watching Smooth play Uncharted.
You know what? Lord King, you gotta watch it because it almost reminds me, and Lord Kaibatsu also know. It almost reminds me of the battles that you guys used to have with Lord Ha about who's gonna beat Resident Evil on super difficulty, and then we all watching. Watch, you gonna mess up on this part right here. Oh, it's rap. Like it's literally what we used to do. These kids are doing now. You know what I'm saying? It's just on the Twitch stage.
Yeah,
it's funny.
They're doing it on a big stage.
Yeah, like we probably did all that ish talking and battling who's better. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Cognito did the most creepiest thing to me ever. He trolled me. He trolled me over the phone. All right, he called me and said, "Where you at in Tomb Raider?" I said, "Oh, I just made it to this tomb." He said, "Oh, for real? Oh, okay. Did you go around here?" I said, "Nah." I said, "Nah." He said, "Okay, go. I'm still on the phone with you." I'm talking to him on the phone, and I went around the corner, and I didn't get whatever he was looking for. He was like, "You did?" I said, "I did it." He said, "Wait a second. You went around all the way over there?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yo, do it again." I went around the corner, a puma jumped out. I screamed so loud.
Let me give some context. Because I was mad at him that he did a part that scared the ish out of me. So he tells me, he's like, "Yeah, I did that to him. I did that." And I'm like, "You ain't telling me about that experience that I had." I was scared out of
you know, I'll never forget, man, is us playing Destiny and playing Oryx's raid, and when it come to the lever room with the the levers that push out, we always made the newbie go first, and he just got slung out to the wall I don't think every time we played with someone new, I think the only person that was like, "This don't smell right," was John. He was like, "I feel like I'm getting set up for something." I was like, "No, man, we just
go ahead. You first.
We just want to see if you could actually get through it." He's like, "Okay." Then he got hit. He's like, "You know what? Forget you guys."
Exactly. I mean, there's moments like that. Look, King, we and him got like a zillion of these moments. It's just funny things in gaming, and we can talk all day and just, oh man, just the memories. But it's good to see these games that we grew up with just get recognized and get the shine and deserve, like Lord Sovereign was saying, because these built the foundation for what's today. So do your history, young OGs out there. Do your homework. Check these joints out, and they real cool. But we are gonna wrap this thing up. I want to get our outros popping. Lord Solve, where can the people not find you? Because you promised you're gonna get that account. The Twitter account, Lord Solve, is gonna go public.
The people can, right now anyway, the people cannot find me on Xbox Live. On Xbox Live at BX Sovereign, and on PSN at BX Sovereign, one word, and you'll. Following rightly, we will be seeing Lord Sovereign on Twitter, and hopefully by next podcast, you guys will have that info.
No doubt, Lord Kaibatsu will be very pleased. No doubt, and of course, I want to give it off to my brother from another mother, Lord Addict. What's going on with you in these gaming streets?
What's going on, you guys? pretty sure tomorrow I'm gonna have an Addict show on E3 press conference predictions. I do have some plans that I'm going to talk to the other Iron Lords podcast probably after this podcast about our next couple shows. So stay tuned on Twitter for that. Definitely follow us on everyone's except for Lord Sovereign, obviously. Everyone's Twitter links, YouTube. Definitely subscribe. Today was a Monday because we had certain things, but we normally stream Sundays at 1 p.m. We've been pretty consistent with that here lately. So definitely do that. And, stay tuned because things about to get lit.
About to get lit. And shout out to the Lords on that. And, of course, I got to get the outro going to the premium gamer himself, the OG beloved Lord King. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, PlayStation Network, and Xbox Live. King David OTW, the real King David on Twitter, Instagram, the real King David, and on PlayStation Network. Xbox 360 lover 01.
Love that outro. Of course, it's Incognito here. We still got the best podcast you guys have never heard, man. We appreciate the support. Yo, make sure y'all hit that like button for real. Like that like button, subscribe, spread the word. We out here. We got a lot of stuff popping. You see Lord Act, he's got some stuff going too. Also, E3 is going to be really lit. Shout out to Playback Gaming Network. Dizzy and those guys, After Hours podcast, doing it right now. I gotta get my behind over there, get some drinks with those guys. It's really cool, really fun, laid back.
You better stay away from the Fable conversation he was having last week.
Yeah, he said some trifling stuff. And shout out to what's his face, Reaper too. He said some trifling Destiny stuff, but we love what they doing over there. And yeah, man, we appreciate the support. Like I said, subscribe, find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube. Please hit that like button, share it. Let's get this thing moving. And on that note, we are out. Peace.